Greetings and salutations, friends. I am Nimithrander, and it's time that we went and had a late dinner with Zhongli. Oh, for crying out loud, I waited just long enough to wait. I waited just long enough for it to go over the time. I could restart the recording and ignore that, but nah, I'm leaving it in. It's almost funny how that went. Okay. Now for a slightly earlier dinner with Zhongli. Ay ay.
Ah, you're here. There's no need to order. I've already done so. Third round knockout is not for lightweights, like those taverns in Mondstadt. Here, the owner does not take such unorthodox orders as fruit juice.
So, does this mean I can order wine this time? Probably not, because either still is underage or looks it.
I ordered some wine-fermented sweet rice balls for you, if that counts.
Yes, I expected as much.
If it is to your liking, dear customers, I shall continue the tale of Lady Ningguang's Jade Chamber.
Hey, there's even a storyteller here! Great atmosphere!
Besides fine wine, the excellent ambiance is the reason why this place is so well loved. But when I say ambiance, I refer to a different sort from the one the Tevat travel guide uses to judge other establishments.
As you all know, high above the land of Liyue lies a pavilion in the clouds, a palace in the mist. What does it mean to have all-seeing eyes? This, my friends, Lady Ningguang's masterwork that bridges earth and sky. Imagine, the weather is clear, and you gaze down from the deck on the world below. Behold, the glorious sights of Liyue Harbor, stretching out far and wide.
Is that Ganyu watching us? I wonder what has her so interested.
They say that when Lady Ningguang ponders important affairs, she retreats to her Jade Chamber with none but her 3 closest confidants in tow. Why brings she these trusted 3 to sift through sources, dig through documents, looking for information? Piece by piece, facts and figures paint a picture on the walls of the chamber. But well before the wall is filled, Lady Ningguang's mind is made up. Having made her call, she has every last document shredded, and whoosh, she scatters the shavings out her window. Ah, look at them, how they billow in the wind like a sudden swirling blizzard. As the fragments fall, traces of text flicker before the eyes of the merchants of Liyue, like ink stains in white snow. The saying goes, the rarest treasures in the land are the words brought by the paper snow. For the words of the Tianquan have the power to move mountains, and all throughout the land know it.
And this makes me wish that
These are but
Ningguang...
scraps of paper, and yet they guide Lady Ningguang's hand. Such is their value.
And it is cutscenes like this that make it baffling that Ningguang is a 4-star and not a 5-star.
Merely grasping 1 or 2 of them will surely gift you a fragment of her wisdom, enough to stay a step or 2 ahead of your peers.
Tianquan Ningguang. Feels like we're hearing this name a lot. Liyue locals talk about her. The Fatui hate her. She's most likely the one who hid the Exuvia, and we saw her at the Rite of Descension. Huh. Paimon wonders what sort of person she is.
At last I have found you. You who returned from Jueyun Karst.
Who's there?
This might be trouble.
Wait, I am not with the Millelith, nor am I here to claim your bounty. However, I am an emissary of the Liyue Chising. My name is Ganyu, secretary at the Yua High Pavilion, and I have come specifically to meet you.
You claim to be an emissary?
Well, in concrete terms, I am the corporate secretary for the Chising. At the moment, I am serving as Lady Ningguang's special emissary.
Ningguang sent you? We were literally just talking about her.
My apologies, you who have returned from Jueyun Karst. I am duty-bound and cannot extend my courtesy to you in full. But I have with me a letter from Lady Ningguang. She extends a formal invitation to you in her capacity as Tianquan. She invites you to her palace in the sky.
An official invitation?
Lady Ningguang said this. Invite him to come here. I wish to meet him. At the Jade Chamber, together we shall snip every one of these entwining dark threads.
Interesting.
And with that, the emissary who called herself Ganyu just disappeared.
Couldn't have animated
We've
that.
received an invitation from the Liyue Chising. Paimon still can't believe it. We'll be meeting people that have way more money than Paimon could ever count. We should be on our best manners.
I always mind my manners. Though it sounds like you might be up to something, Paimon.
An invitation to visit the Jade Chamber is a rare honor indeed. You'd best be on your way now. But don't forget about the rite of parting. Once you've finished at the Jade Chamber, meet me at Dihua Marsh.
Don't worry, we won't forget. Dihua Marsh. We'll see you there.
A new star approaches. And we got a constellation. For Geo Traveler. Not all that useful since we're doing Dendro Traveler, but still.
Ningguang. Ganyu. I wonder where we will find them amid these dark tides.
Well, for the moment, we are off to visit Ningguang. Now, we got multiple quests. Okay, so the Archon quest Floating Palace is next. So, where exactly should we go? Mount Tianheng, eh? If only I'd grabbed this teleport point, we could have headed straight there. So, this will take a little bit longer now. Let's see. I think I'll approach from this side. So, we need to turn around and head across this bridge. Because I wish to strike the fast travel point on the way. No reason to leave it inactive, after all. Yes, the Tianquan's secretary came in person to have words with us. And she knew already that we had been to Jueyun Karst. There's not many people who would know that. Or, well... Now that I'm thinking of it, there might not be that many who know that we have had audience with multiple Adepti. But there were Millelith guards present when we spoke. The Mooncarver, I believe. It was either Mooncarver or Mountain Shaper. We spoke to one of those two, and the Millelith interrupted us. So I suppose that would be how Ganyu and Ningguang learned of our involvement there. So now we have a hefty climb ahead of us. Fortunately, there are enough cuts in the wall and recesses that we should get at least a little rest on the way. Yes, a bit like this one. We are a long way up already. Looks like we're going to have to shift over to the right. Otherwise, we're in for a sheer wall for a bit too long. There we go. Yes, taking these piecemeal is definitely the best way to go. Makes it slightly less tedious than it otherwise would be. Okay. It looks like we have a treasure chest or two. One guarded by a ruin guard.
And shroud!
Let's dance.
One with the
Yes,
force.
burning makes short work of these fellows. And now you
Why is
see
there a chest
why
here?
I decided to go for Tainari first. Because Dendro and Dendro reactions are very, very good.
Keep up. Can't see?
Nice and spicy.
Not to mention that Shanling is an excellent pyro unit. To pair up with him,
One with the force.
that said, Shanling is an excellent pyro unit, period.
Smells like something good is inside.
And admittedly, hardly anyone matches up with him, with her, Shanling that is. But she is somewhat unique.
Can't see? Propagate!
Sama churls can be quite a
I
nuisance.
hear everything. One with the force. Scatter! And shroud!
Yes, as I was saying before I was interrupted by the churls, Shanling is somewhat unique in that she has a great deal
Found report.
of off-field application of pyro. Most pyro units predominantly do on-field damage, not off. So, Shanling is special in that way. Oh. Ooh, getting jittered all over the place. Nope. Ah. Slippery steps. Oh, I see. There's the SIGH. Well, we'll worry about that later. Oh,
Look up there! That's the Jade Chamber!
well, impressive as it is, how do we get to it?
This is bad. Paimon's supposed to be your guide, but Paimon doesn't know where the way up to the Jade Chamber is.
You've only realized that now? After we made it all the way up here?
Well, since we want to go to the Jade Chamber, heading to its location on the map is the sensible thing to do.
It's in the
Let's look around.
sky.
There has to be a way up there nearby.
Must there? Oh, looks like they teleported us up into the top of the mountain. Perhaps daylight will help us in our search. You know, this is something that Ganyu could have helped clear up for us if she had stuck around.
Hey, look! There's some sort of mechanism thingy. Since this is the right place, it must have something to do with the Jade Chamber.
It's the way to the chamber, perhaps? A means to get to it?
Yes, this must be the way.
Propagate!
Yeah, I figured. We're going to have to switch out to an animal unit to activate this, it seems. Fortunately, I have Sucrose and Lynette on hand.
I can do it.
Well, indeed you can. Quite easily. Almost.
It only takes us up to here. Aw, if that wind current was stronger, we'd be able to reach the top in one go.
I suppose we had better head back to Liyue and, well, ask somebody who might actually know how to get up to it.
Huh? Why?
The way up shouldn't be a secret to everyone. She is the Tinch one, after all. There has to be some way for her people to contact her.
Or... Oh, Paimon gets it! If it was a secret, Ganyu wouldn't have let us try to find it ourselves, right? Alright, let's follow your plan. Then we can... Oh, hang on a moment. Look down there. Looks like we've gotten close to the Guizhong Ballista. Paimon has a new idea. Why don't we shoot you up to the Jade Chamber using the ballista?
Do you really hate me that much?
No. Paimon may have just forgotten to think about the safety measures.
No kidding. The ballista did have a scope on it. Perhaps we might be able to learn something.
Oh, that's right. Now that you mention it, we could use the Guizhong Ballista to see if there's another way up nearby.
Not so sure about this one.
Wow, so many raw materials.
Well, all I can do is check, I suppose. Ah, but it looks like there's also another chest up here. So we'll grab that on the way, I think. Ah yes, we have a ruined hunter by the looks of it. So I'm going to need to switch out my team a bit again. Sucrose, alas, is not very helpful on a bloom team.
Just sharpen my spear.
But this ought to work well enough.
At the front.
Scatter! Spring forth!
Let's dance.
And shroud!
Yes, I'd say that worked rather well.
Smells like something good is inside.
Now we need Geo to unlock this. Unfortunately, I've only really got 2 options for that. Noelle, whose shield respawn would be painful long to wait for. Or else Geo Traveler, but I'd have to go well out of my way to get to a Statue of the Seven and make him Geo Traveler again. And then after I was finished with this, I would then have to go back and make him Dendro again. Not worth the trouble right now.
Can't see?
Where did the other... I know there was a shield one here a minute ago. Did he run himself off the cliff? I'm thinking he did. That did very little damage to you.
And shroud!
Oh, and I whiffed that completely. Well, there you are. Don't go flying off the edge again.
Propagate!
Boba, get them. I'll protect us.
And now you see another reason I picked Tainari. He can actually hit around
Smells
the
like
enemy
something
shields.
good is inside.
I have a guy up there, but we're not going to bother with him yet. Nope, we have to go back to the Guizhong Ballista. Oh. Looks like we're not the first people to take an interest in the Ballista again. We have some Millilith defending it now.
Halt! Who trespasses on these hallowed grounds?
We're passing through.
Exactly. What are you talking about? We're invited guests. What makes you think you can treat us like this?
You're going to have to do a lot more explaining than that, Paimon. We were invited to the Jade Chamber, which is a fair ways away from here.
No. Wait. Maybe this was Ningguang's plan all along. She pretended to invite us to the Jade Chamber, but set up a Millilith ambush here to arrest us.
I'm quite sure that's not the case. If she really were intent on us being arrested by the Millilith, why didn't she just have Ganyu take us? I mean, she is part Adeptus, and more than powerful enough to challenge us.
Now Paimon's mad! You, over there! This is a trick, isn't it? How shameless!
What? We're just on guard duty. What do you mean, shameless?
What nonsense! Seize these suspicious intruders at once!
Well, here they come! Line them up and knock them down!
Oh, look what your mouth has got us into, Paimon. Well, might as well get it done quick if we're gonna be forced into this.
Tactical!
Who goes there?
Yeah!
One with the forest.
Tactical! Retreat!
Propagate!
Bested!
To arms!
There are a lot of you, aren't there?
Like a show begins.
Can't see? Let's nip that in the bud.
Yep, that was a lot of soldiers we just injured.
Stop! What's all this about?
Lady Kuching, these two strange people suddenly appeared. They seem to have designs on the Guizhong Ballista.
Who are you calling strange?
We were just looking for the way to the Jade Chamber. Our invitation lacked instructions on how to reach our destination. An oversight on Ningguang's part, wouldn't you say?
You want to go to the Jade Chamber? Who are you?
We're invited guests here to look for the Liyue Qixing. Who are you?
Well, as it happens, I am one of the Liyue Qixing.
Oh,
I'm Kuching, the Yuheng of the Qixing. I know of you, traveler. You're Ningguang's guests, yes? Didn't expect to meet you here in the mountains.
wow. Paimon didn't think we'd meet some super rich big shot out here in the middle of nowhere either.
The Guizhong Ballista in Tianheng Pass has long been in disrepair, and yet it was fixed in a single night. I came here to investigate that occurrence. These Millilith are just here to guard the scene, not to arrest anyone.
So this was all a misunderstanding? Paimon never
Thinking
would've
isn't
thought.
that hard, Paimon. Fighting the Millilith, on the other hand, that was a bit of a challenge. Thanks to you.
Anyway, for a mortal to be able to repair an Adepti mechanism is quite the mystery, even to the Qixing.
That was...
We only did a part of the work here. But I will say no more concerning this matter. It does not interest you.
Huh? Oh, right. So, Lady Yuheng, might you have any idea why Lady Tianquan invited us to go to the Jade Chamber?
Just call me Kuching. I'd say that Ningguang's purpose is to request that the savior of Mondstadt take a more neutral stance. Or at least, to not wholly side with the Adepti.
We're not taking sides. We spoke with the Adepti. They want to
Apart
protect
from
Liyue
Cloud
as
Retainer,
well.
who has, all but declared her intention of burying Liyue Harbor and the Qixing. But never mind that.
When you say protect, you're referring to their sanctimonious arrogance, aren't you?
Huh?
You are mortals, and thus under their protection. There was no way they would have regarded you as someone with the ability to assassinate a god. Naturally, they would also regard Ningguang's locking down the area, questioning the citizenry, and pursuit of the assassin to be pointless work. Perhaps they even wonder if there might be a cover-up. I'll say it like it is. They're underestimating us.
Well, you've got a point there. Still, this is the first time Paimon's seen a person from Liyue who doesn't respect the gods or the Adepti.
Should I respect the shallow sense of time and condescension to mortals that has caused them to delay in moving against us, Qixing? Forget it. I shouldn't speak of them this way. This skepticism is mine alone, and Ningguang does not share it. Either way, I will admit that the actions of the Adepti this time were quite restrained. Rex Lapis's death is indeed an extraordinary circumstance. But to think that they would call for a council of Adepti rather than come down here directly. How surprisingly civilized of them.
Ningguang would prefer to negotiate, wouldn't she? Unlike you, it would seem.
Well, for Ningguang, she would talk anything and everything out if she could. But I doubt we can do that here. The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue?
Another super bold statement.
I'll stop here. Honestly, I hadn't intended to say so much. But you're a good listener, Traveler. You should both be off to the Jade Chamber. Don't be late now. Ningguang's schedule is packed to the gills all the way till next year. The cream of Liyue's mercantile crop all see ascending to the Jade Chamber as the greatest honor. Each brings rich gifts as they visit, all to curry a little favor with Ningguang.
Favor?
We are not here for personal gain, at least not monetary gain, Paimon. Remember, the sole purpose of our visit is to find Lumine, to find Aether's sister. That is the chief reason for everything we do. That, and general goodwill toward the people of Tevat, who have been excellent hosts for the Traveler in his predicament, shall we call it.
But... Wait, that's right! Greeting gifts are a staple of Liyue's culture. We need to get one. Not to curry favor or anything, just to respect Liyue's culture.
So very eager, aren't we?
Alright. You can decide on your greeting gift yourselves. Let me tell you how to get to the Jade Chamber first. You didn't actually have to come to Mount Tianheng. Go back to Liyue Harbor. Find a guide at the Yuehai Pavilion, and... well then. May we meet again, Traveler.
Well, that Yuheng may not respect the gods, but Paimon thinks she's a pretty cool person.
She did make a good impression. And to be fair, there are issues with some of the Adepti, particularly Cloud Retainer, who overtly suggested destroying Liyue and the Qixing. That was a bit extreme.
So, what should we give to Ningguang when we see her?
You really have shifted focus, haven't you, Paimon?
Oh, right! Paimon dreamed of an amazing snack last night! Sugar-frosted slime! Paimon has a feeling that it would be perfect for a super rich person like
You
Ningguang.
want to give... you want to give the Tianxuan frosted slime. I will make it abundantly clear this was your idea for a gift. When she decides to have you executed.
Why don't we go with that for a gift?
Do you have a recipe for that, by any chance?
Nope! But Paimon's sure that we just need to make it with some boom shakalaka. Let's go gather ingredients. Time waits for no one, and neither will our riches.
Yeah, all about the money, aren't you, Paimon? I guess it's fortunate that the ingredients for this little concoction of Paimon's can all be found here in Liyue. If the idea wasn't terrible enough already, us not being able to actually make it would have simply been the crowning cherry on this cake of absurdity.
And Shroud!
Hatchling.
I'll uproot you!
And of course you... Oh, you didn't duck underground. You died. Okay.
Why is there a chest
I
here?
assumed straight away that they was going to duck underground right when my attack was launched. Thus, causing me to have wasted my burst. With Tainari, that's not too big an issue, Considering his burst only cost 40 energy.
Ooh, look at that slime! It looks crystal clear! And very delicious. That's the one!
I'm not sure that I agree with your definition of delicious slime, Paimon. Okay, now we have all of these little flyers to deal with.
Propagate!
Okay. Now we can investigate in peace, perhaps. Perhaps we'll find out where this SIGH is. No resting before we go too much further.
Let the show begin.
Aether. Aether is getting beat up a bit. Let's see if we can't heal him a little. Oh, and one popped, they both did. I'm wondering where you got off to. Plenty of oh, there's the pedestal.
I think we can forego the lost and found report.
Alright, our next objective seems to be over here.
Huh? Is it just Paimon? Or is there a sweet fragrance in the air? Huh? Did you hear that?
Sounded like someone calling for help.
It seemed like it came from those ruins over there. Uh-oh. It looks like the treasure hoarders have locked someone inside.
Your little scavenger hunt to make your odd dish has now evolved into us interfering in criminal affairs.
I hear everything!
Ooh, what is that sound effect?
Keep up!
Ooh, something is acting funny. Yeah, something was interacting with my attacks and causing the sound effects to go several times louder than they should be. That was a bit painful.
Thank you for your help, kind travelers. If you hadn't come to my aid, I surely would have rotted in this cell. Those treasure hoarders. When their mood was good, they'd rearrange those pots of sweet flowers. When they were in a bad mood, they'd rearrange my face.
Aw, it was nothing. No need to thank us all at once or anything.
I understand. Don't worry. I will
There's
compensate
really
you
no
both.
need. We helped you because you were in need, and that is enough.
Don't say that. I only escaped this predicament because of you. I'm Meng Dan, a supplier for Mingxing jewelry in Liyue Harbor. I often walk around these mountains in search of antiques. I never expected that those treasure hoarders would have their eyes on the same ruins that I had. Before I knew it, they'd caught and imprisoned me. Is there anything that you lack? Antiques, treasure, various knickknacks, you name it. Well, as long as you want what I have to offer.
Your
of course.
goodwill is good enough for me.
Wait a moment. Actually, we are looking for something.
Oh? And what might that be?
Do you have a box that can store presents? We'd like a pretty one. The kind that you can use to store snacks.
Of Of course we do. How can one sell antiques without gift boxes? At Mingxing Jewelry, we have the best gift wrapping service in the 7 nations. Now just give me a moment and I'll let the boss know. You can go see her whenever you require that box.
Great! Paimon's sugar-frosted slime now comes in a beautiful package.
Ay. I know that was our purpose here, but still. Ugh. It is interesting. Is slime even truly edible? Because I've seen a few people use it as ideas for ingredients. Diona, for instance, has more than once suggested adding slime into her drinks, but on the flip side, she is actively trying to make people, well, stop buying her drinks, because she hates alcohol and alcoholism. So, I suppose that would imply at least, well, fundamentally that slime is not necessarily tasty, but at least not actively harmful to people. As Diona might have bitter resentment against alcoholics, but as far as I'm aware, she's never actually tried to hurt anybody explicitly. And she certainly hasn't poisoned anyone as far as I know. So I guess slime is edible, but probably not a good thing to eat in general.
Hey there! A guy called Meng Dan told us that we could get a nice and shiny box from your store.
Uncle Meng already told me about it. Thank you both for saving him. Many of the best goods in our store were found by Uncle Meng. If anything were to happen to him, it would be impossible for us to continue doing business. Here, this container is itself an antique, with at least 140 years of history. It's already been cleaned. Will it do?
I don't want to put slime in a 140-year-old antique box. Well, on the flip side, the box itself might make a decent gift to Ningguang. So, I just hope we can avoid ruining it with the slime.
Yep. It's great! Hang on a moment. Could we borrow one other thing?
Sure. Please help yourselves, as long as it's on our shelves.
Traveler, this clay pot looks really awesome. If we use an antique as our mixing bowl, we should be able to make a great snack.
Okay, I was not happy with ruining the box with the slime in it, but you want to do that to the... Another antique ruined with slime? Really?
It's done! The one and only sugar-frosted slime! Carefully now. Into the box it goes and dust it over with a bit more powdered sugar.
Oh yes, you might want to use these 2 freshly picked flowers as decorations too.
Woohoo! It looks beautiful!
I'm still not sold on this idea for a gift.
Great! Now that we've put all that we've got into this box, let's go to the Jade Chamber to see Ningguang.
Icing on the slime. I sincerely hope that the box and the jar can both be cleaned. The slime did not permanently filthy them. I have a soft spot for antiques and old items and knickknacks. I have 1 or 2 such items myself. Family heirlooms and such, and the idea of putting slime or any other filth on or in such items just does not sit right with me. Well, as I said, looking on the bright side of this, Ningguang might very well throw out the the contents, slime, and keep the antique box. That, at least, might make for a halfway decent gift. Ay ay.
Though the clouds may darken and might turn to gloom.
According to Kuching, this is what we should say. Excuse me, do you sell the moon here?
Yes. How many would you like?
It's not convenient to speak of numbers here.
Ah, well said. Please, use this to ascend to the chamber. Yes, speaking of which, are you two the guests that Lady Ningguang has arranged to meet with today?
Yep.
And yet the code they used was not the one for guests, but for the Yuheng. What's going on here?
Okay, so there's two levels of mistake going on here. One, Ganyu did not give us a password. And no one told us either where to go to actually gain entry to the chamber, nor that there even would be a password required in the first place. Did that simply slip Ganyu's mind? Did she assume that we would know the way? Or did Ningguang specifically inform, or command, rather, Ganyu to not tell us? Specifically to test us to see how well we could piece things together on our own? Certainly making it hard to receive her own guests, isn't she? Ugh. And we arrive at the Jade Chamber.
I've been waiting for you, returnee from Jueyun Karst.
It's Ningguang! Since this is our first meeting, we've prepared a gift. I hope you like it.
Oh, for me. You have my thanks. It seems that I have made things difficult for you, considering that you were supposed to be my guest.
Yes, I did find it rather odd that at no point did you actually tell us how to get here.
Oh no, it's nothing.
It's my first time coming to a place this high up. Literally floating amid the clouds. An impressive abode you've made for yourself.
This palace floats in the skies, higher than the peak of any mountain. From this vantage point, one may survey all of Liyue. I have been gathering the funds necessary to build it from the time I began learning the merchant's craft. And since becoming the Tianquan, I have spared no effort in hiring the best craftsmen to constantly extend it. At first, it was but the size of one room. Now, it is large enough to blot out the moon in the skies above Liyue. One day, I believe it will overshadow all 7 nations.
You certainly do not lack for ambition, Tianquan.
Not many from outside Liyue earn the right to ascend to the Jade Chamber. But I have been in correspondence with the acting Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, who spoke highly of you. As such, I have been putting eyes and ears out ever since you reached Liyue.
What?
And I finally got wind of your movements when you were on the way to Wangshu Inn.
Wait! Was Vergoldet one of your people?
Just Vergoldet? No. Everyone at Wangshu Inn is one of ours.
We also ran into the Yuheng not long ago. Kuching. Is she also in your informant net? Or does she stand apart from you? I wonder.
At the Guizhang Ballista, yes?
You weren't peeking on us from the skies the whole time, were you?
I fear that peeking would have been a little difficult from this altitude. Our eyes and ears are more than sufficient. You two are very interesting people, after all. It would be natural to take an interest.
Kuching said that the Qixing would not wish ill on Rex Lapis, though she herself might be said to have a sacrilegious bent to her.
Well, I wouldn't expect you to trust us, considering that you have had far more interactions with the Adepti. The reason I invited you here was to clear up some misunderstandings.
Such as? It truly is a wonderful view of Liyue you have from here. Though, I wonder if you actually are above all mountains. I see at least 2 peaks from here that might be on par with your seat. Save perhaps at the very pinnacle of your mansion.
I believe that you've heard of the Archon War.
I've only heard of it in the broadest of strokes.
Many gods used to walk this earth, and many long wars were fought between them that did not abate until 2,000 years ago. Much blood was shed, and many lives were lost. In the end, only 7 victors remained standing in Teyvat. They built cities and nations on the corpses of the vanquished, and thus began the era of the 7. You can see Goyun Stone Forest from here, I trust. It is no natural rock formation. Those are giant spears of rock hurled by Rex Lapis during the war. Beneath the spears lie those cast down by Rex Lapis in those days, gods that failed to seize the title of Archon. Not only is it true that gods may die, but so too has the membership of the 7 changed over the last 2 millennia. Rex Lapis's passing is an unimaginable disaster for Liyue, but the Order of the 7 will not collapse simply because of that. Another Lord of Geo will arise sooner or later. Yet, how are we to forget Rex Lapis? When that time comes, the relationship between the people of Liyue and the gods and Adepti will surely be different from before. Even in a new era, the Liyue Qixing remain Rex Lapis's former subjects. Do you really think us capable of having played a part in his demise? Of lacking the foresight to see the certain repercussions?
Why hide the Exuvia, then? Though I believe I can guess. You are worried about Tneznaya and their machinations. You already know, no doubt, that Venti, the Animo Archon, has had his Gnosis stolen. And if there is ever to be a new Geo Archon, the Gnosis of Rex Lapis must be preserved and handed on to his successor. And if the Gnosis is in the Exuvia, then the Exuvia must be defended at all costs, else there shall be no new god to oversee the prosperity of Liyue.
That day at Yujing Terrace, it was also very sudden. Even I was caught completely off guard. You were there, you no doubt saw. But our enemy has long lain hidden within the harbor. If we do not act against them now, they will surely gain the upper hand. Hiding the Exuvia was a necessary maneuver to take the initiative back, to play the spider while our foes scurry about.
Who's this enemy you're talking about?
What do you think, Traveler?
It is him, isn't it?
Huh? What are you two talking about?
Well answered.
Huh?
The scenery out here is fine indeed. but the wind is a little strong. Our preparations to receive guests within are complete. So please, this way.
One of the vaunted harbingers of the Fatui is here in Liyue at this moment. Right on time to observe the death of Rex Lapis. How very convenient, is it not? Particularly so soon after the Animo Archon.
Wowee! What a huge hall! Paimon's never seen such a fancy place before.
Yes, the Animo Archon was assailed, and his gnosis stolen. And before that, you had the Fatui agents attempting to usurp power in Mondstadt. Is it any wonder that Ningguang is more than a little wary of any involvement of the Fatui, and especially of their harbingers?
Be at ease, you two. Make yourselves at home if you wish.
Can we really?
I have invited you two here as friends. And when friends come over to play, our enjoyment comes first. Naturally.
Is that what I think it is?
Ooh! Isn't this that legendary wall?
Why, you've kept your ear to the ground, I see.
That's because even the storytellers are talking about it. Everyone's after a piece of paper from that wall. It's super famous.
That's because that wall records Leo's secrets. Merchants have always been attracted to secrets. But the secrets of the mercantile world are of no interest to you, are they, traveler? You're rather special, really, and I think you're quite aware of that. If possible, I'd like to have your trust. But if you were to choose the more trustworthy person between myself and Kuching...
I barely know either of you. Yet, at the moment, the Adepti... have presented themselves, in my view, poorly. So for the moment I will say that I favor Kuching and her skepticism of the divine. Not least because the divine is shifting at the present. And I'm also left sour on the Archons by Venti. Venti and his deception, pretending to be a simple bard, and by extension, renouncing his obligations as a god. And now Rex Lapis. Falling from divinity. It has left me skeptical, it has left me dubious about the righteousness of the divine.
You'd pick Kuching? Nah, I had a feeling. I originally thought her a bit too hard-headed. With someone of her character on the Qixing, I've had some extra messes to clean up behind the scenes. But after she said those words, the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue? Well, I must say that quite a few of my doubts have been dispelled. I won't deny that Rex Lapis's passing seems advantageous to us. But, for Liyue's sake, we cannot allow ourselves to be shackled by rumors of our usurpation of power.
I surmised that the Fatui has had a hand in these rumors. Doubtless, they will attempt to undermine the Qixing, and steal out authority from under your nose if they can manage it. They tried the same thing in Mondstadt against the Knights of Favonius, after all. And if the Cryo-Archon, the Tsaritsa, can claim the world through diplomacy, underhanded and duplicitous though it be, that would be preferable to an overt war. A war against all of the other nations. Even now that she has 2 Gnosis, would not necessarily be a war in her favor.
Indeed. It seems that you understood what I meant to say from the very beginning. I called for the gag order and for the Exuvia to be hidden to temporarily stabilize the situation, and also to prevent something similar to the incident in Mondstadt. With Rex Lapis's death, the Fatui have busied themselves with many clandestine actions beyond their diplomatic remit. As the Tianquan, one responsible for Liyue, I cannot be too concerned with appearances when opposing them. Allowing the rite of parting to take place was also meant to buy some time for us to take control of Liyue's administration.
It's exactly as Zhongli said. The Qixing only provided the venue for the rite so they could use us for their own ends. Wait, that's right. Speaking of ends, could I say one other thing?
Of course.
Paimon's heard that anyone who sends a greeting gift gets a little something in return. So, does that include us?
Seriously, Paimon? Seriously? Did you not even consider for half a second that she's already told us more than 99% of all Liyue's citizens would be privy to? Do you not notice that we are now in her council? We are now a confidant of the Tianquan. Something that only a handful of people in all of Tevat can claim. We have already received gifts, well beyond the reach of virtually anyone, and we received them just for showing up. So don't push our luck by going after money now.
It's all right. I like direct people. Well, we have made quite a bit of trouble for you recently. How about this? You can pick any one object here as you please, and you may take it with you.
Yay! Paimon was just waiting for you to say that! Let's see, what should we get? One of the sheets on that wall!
You do realize that wall is full of mercantile secrets. Secrets for traders and salespeople. Not much that would benefit us, really.
Don't look at Paimon like that! One of these sheets of paper will sell for crazy prices, even if it's only as large as Paimon's fingernail. Just imagine how much more a whole untorn sheet would sell for.
Assuming you could find anyone to sell it to.
Let's grab one! The biggest one!
It looks almost like a map.
Huh? Well, that was an easy search. The biggest sheet is right up there in the most obvious spot. Let's go with that one.
Yeah, looks like a map to me.
La 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 la. Let's see what's written on it. Huh? There's a place marked with a circle on here. Oh, could it be treasure? Whatever it is, it better make us filthy rich. Let's see what's written over here. Sigil of permission, something, something, Fatui, research, copy. Huh? Aw, that doesn't sound like treasure at all. This piece of paper shows that a Qixing spy discovered traces of classified Fatui research on the Sigil of Permission. Oh, Ningguang did say that the Fatui have been up to all kinds of mischief in the shadows of Liyue, spreading rumors, wanting to get their hands on the Archon's body and whatnot. But research on the Sigil of Permission? Paimon wonders what they're up to. Speaking of which, there's also some connection between you and the Sigil of Permission. Seems there's still more for us to find out.
Ningguang is clearly trying to steer us in the right direction. And now we have a partial answer to a question I had much earlier. Why exactly does a Fatui Harbinger have a Liyue sigil of permission? Now, it seems that he may have received a copy, a counterfeit of a sigil. That bodes ill, for the sigils grant access to places and people that would normally be off limits to everyone. It allows one audience with the Adepti, for instance, and it allows you to enter Joyun Karst without at once being assailed by the Adepti and their servants. A very dangerous item in the hands of the Fatui.
Oh, you really think so? Well, should we not go then?
No, we should go there.
Oh, so you're saying that it's precisely because we can't completely trust Ningguang that we should confirm the truth of what she says for ourselves. That's way out of Paimon's league. Paimon thinks she's been nothing but good to us. Anyway, we'll see if you're onto something. Before we look for Zhongli at Dihua Marsh, let's go to the place marked out on these papers and see if the Fatui really are up to no good there.
I certainly will go after the Fatui. Oh well. We're now caught up in the politics between Liyue and Snezhnaya. Though that was true in Mondstadt also.
Sorry, anything business related?
Hello there. What can you tell me about the Jade Chamber? Oh, I quite understand. Yours is a most interesting locale and profession, and discretion is of utmost importance.
So, have you made your choice? You don't have to confirm it with me. Just choose one and take it. Afterwards, why not sit down for a while in the Jade Chamber? Or have a short stroll? Rest is also an integral part of any journey.
I thank you for your hospitality.
Come now. There's no need to stand on ceremony. Loosen up a little.
Well, the next course of action... let's see...
Sorry, anything business related is confidential.
Well, I think we will call today's episode here. It has run a bit long. And besides, next we head out into the world once again, in search of Fatui, and to learn what they are doing with sigils of permission. Nothing good, I can tell you that. Well, if you've enjoyed this, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And do check out my Elden Ring Let's Play. And as always, have a good day.